You know, I just think it's so good, isn't it, that we can gradually get back to some sort of normality. And when we're going to be meeting on this Sunday, Easter Sunday, out in the car park, where we can sing together, we can just enjoy each other's company together as we celebrate Easter. But what was going to be really good about celebrating Easter, I think, is that everybody is at different stages as we come out of this difficult time, this over a year now since that first lockdown. But I'm really, really pleased today that on the sofa here I've got Margaret. Now Margaret, unlike most of us, didn't get off scot-free from COVID, but actually went through a really, really difficult journey. And Margaret just wants to be able to share her story, and what better way of sharing her story, a real resurrection story, if you like, of what Margaret went through. What was it, Margaret? Something like 10 weeks or something like that, wasn't it? It was quite a time, wasn't it?
I was actually a month in hospital.
A month in hospital,
and
yeah.
It's taken me 3-4 months to recover.
And 3 or 4 months, right. Okay, well I'm gonna hand over to Margaret. Margaret, thanks so much for coming along. And you've been on a real journey, I know, because having got COVID, but who knew what was going to come next after you picked up this virus. Anyway, tell us a bit about your journey.
Well, last October, the half term, the end of October, we went on a holiday together, a family holiday, 10 adults, 5 children. For some reason, 5 of us come back with COVID. The others seemed all right. I had a bit of a cold. I thought I had the start of a cold, and I had sickness and diarrhoea. So I phoned 111, and after a few days they said, call an ambulance, and they'll check you over. So on the 9th of November, the ambulance turned up. I got into the ambulance. I thought I was going home after a checkup. I had my handbag and phone and got into the ambulance. I thought, this is the first time I've been in an ambulance. After that, I didn't remember anything for about nearly a month. I don't remember getting out of the hospital. I don't remember going into a ward. I do remember bits and pieces, but it's all sort of vague. They come and told me I was going to ICU because I didn't have enough oxygen in my blood. So they wanted to put me on a ventilator. I phoned Dave. I mean, we were both in tears because we thought, this is goodbye. I'm 70. Oh, I was nearly 70. I'm diabetic, insulin diabetic, and I'm overweight. So I thought, this is it. I'm going. I had to say goodbye to Jensen. I had to tell him I loved him. I had to. I had something in me that I had to tell him, and I told him that if I went to heaven, that I would still love him.
It's your grandson, Jensen.
Yeah, he was 6, the other 2 or 3, I didn't think that they would understand, but yes, so that was all very emotional. I went down to ICU for, I don't know, a little while. It's the start of the dreams. I had to go into HDU for a while as well because I think my heart stopped at one time and they couldn't get it going back into rhythm. There was talk going to Papworth if it didn't go back into rhythm. The dreams I had, hallucinations, I don't know what they were, but they were awful. They were so vivid. Right. And there I was in this bed with people talking to me, pushing me around. I was travelling the world in my bed, no particle. In the end, they just seemed to be continuous. I don't know how long I had them, whether it was all in one day or over several weeks, I don't know. In the end, I'm thinking, I can't go on. I can't go on. I don't know where I am, what's happening to me, where I am, what's going to happen to me. And that's
so it was like hallucinating?
Yes, it was.
Someone
I've spoken to or heard of since said it was hallucinations.
And do they put that down for the drugs or anything? Or
I think it is the drugs. It was they're just so vivid and some of them were a bit nasty because I went to my own funeral, which was a bit weird because I couldn't talk to anybody. And other times I could hear Dave talking, or I thought I could hear Dave talking, my sister, Sarah, but I couldn't talk to them and they didn't talk to me. So whether, I don't know, I just don't know what was happening to me. In the end, I can't go on like this. I'm going to have to give up.
So what did giving up mean?
I don't know really.
That
I didn't know
yeah,
what
yeah.
to do. I just, I think I'm not one that likes being totally on my own in strange situations. But there I was. And in the end, I heard this voice. I don't know whether it was me or someone. Oh, I think it was God. It must have been God. He said to me, "You're not dead yet. You haven't seen Jesus. You haven't seen heaven." I said, "Oh yeah, I must still be alive then. So I can't give up. I've got to keep going."
Yeah.
And it did sort of calm me down for a while. And the next thing I know, I was coming out, and they were saying, "You have to take you back up to the ward." So I spent.
So this all seems like it happened in a very short space
Yeah,
of time. But
I mean,
I guess
to
it
me,
was over
I don't know.
a period of days or
Days, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I went down to ICU on the 11th of November, I think it was, on my notes. And I come up to the ward again on 20-something, so I was down there for 10, 11 days. So, I mean, to me, the dreams were just one after another and after another, and I was going from one place to another.
So that brought quite a lot of fear, obviously, because you felt completely out of control, I
Yeah,
suppose. and
nothing,
nothing to-
just nothing. You couldn't even
do
get
anything
out of
about
the
it.
dreams. You couldn't even wake
No.
up and get out of
No.
them. Just sometimes I felt like, I don't know, as I say, I thought I can't go on like this. I just don't know what's happening to me. You get them, they wake you up sometimes. They used to wake you up, ask you your name, where you were, which was a difficult one, and who was Prime Minister. I used to say, "Oh, some idiot." And they accepted that. So, once I was back up in the ward, it was difficult. I said the next frightening bit to me was when the physio started to come round and they got me out of bed. And I was thinking that I would be able to go and have a shower and wash my hair and all that sort of things on my own. Oh, this will be good. And they finally got me out of the bed, which was a struggle. And my legs wouldn't move. And I thought, what's happening to me? I can't move. I really can't move. And then I sort of had a panic attack and they had to get me back on the bed again. So it was all very slow progress.
Because you were on an oxygen mask for some,
Yeah, I was still on.
some
I
time.
still had the
Still had the oxygen.
nose one.
Yeah,
And in the ward. But that was gradually. I
Yeah.
wasn't a very good patient, I must admit. I don't like things up my nose. So every now and again, put that back, put that back. I could hear it, like, even in my dreams, I could hear the nurses saying, "Put that back, Margaret, you're doing well. Don't take that out."
So it's really difficult to know whether you were in a dream or in reality, or whether it was really happening.
It was an awful situation. To people who think that COVID is just flu, and assure you it's not anything like it. Anyway, I was in the ward for about a week. I think they got rid of me because I kept moaning about I want to go home and I'd get better quicker if I was at home with my family. But at least I could talk to them. They did let Dave in for half an hour towards the end of the week.
Right.
I think he come in a couple of days.
Yeah.
Sarah come in again.
And didn't you have a chance to have a sort of video sort of...
Yeah, we sort of
link up or FaceTime
FaceTimed
or-
a few times. Phone him and tell him. And he was on to the doctors and nurses virtually every day. He was on to the physios. Why? I mean, they wake you up at 6, give you breakfast at 7, and then I'm sitting there till 1 o'clock before the physio come. And you think, I can't do anything. I can't even get up or sit in a chair or...
Sure.
And you think it just seems like a waste of time. I could be at home doing this, you know.
Yeah. Right.
So I think probably me moaning about being in hospital, not being at home, they probably got rid of me pretty quick. Came out at the beginning of December, but we had to have the bed downstairs, and I had to have carers in every day to help you
Right.
wash and dress.
So there you're in your home, four walls, as it were. Everything else was kind of not as it
Strange.
should be.
Well,
yeah.
Dave was really good. He cooked sort of me.
Yeah, I heard Dave's cooking skills really
Yeah,
went up.
really improved.
Really went up a few notches. Yeah,
Yeah.
fantastic.
We got pasta, spaghetti, bolognese. We're on to other food now. It was about just before Christmas. We finally got the bed back upstairs, and I managed to get. Well, I got upstairs, so we got the bed back upstairs, so we could get some normality over Christmas. And although we didn't go out, we still had Sarah and Trevor around and our grandchildren.
Yeah.
And it was the.
And you said
Can I
Dave,
say it was the best
and
Christmas
over
ever?
over half the family also caught COVID, but obviously a lesser
Yeah,
kind of.
they just had colds.
They
you
just
know,
had colds
yeah.
and things.
things,
Yeah.
So, you know, as I say, when they said that I was going down to ICU, I thought, well, I'm 70, well, almost 70, 2 months off of 70. I'm diabetic, insulin diabetic. I'm overweight. There's no hope for me. This is it. Goodbye. And I remember Dave saying, don't give up.
But
don't
I
give
suppose
up."
through that, as to say, Dave said, obviously was saying, don't give up, which, and obviously you were talking about that you were going to miss the grandchildren, and obviously. But did you think at that time that, God was also had some sort of plan?
Yeah. After he spoke to me,
Yeah.
I thought, he's still with me. I don't know where I am or what's happening to me, but he is still with me.
Yeah.
And as I say, it was really...
You hadn't finished it yet.
No.
Yeah.
And two things that I really want to say is thank you to everyone that prayed for me during that time and prayed for the family. But most of all, thank you to God for listening to those prayers and getting me through it. Because there's no other way I would have got through it. No other way.
No. So, so is there anything that you feel, just perhaps a final question really, just anything that you feel, differently about now, in terms of, family and so on, or is it just
No,
good
not
to
really.
just be back home and
My
be
family
part of
have always meant the world to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
They just mean the grandchildren are,
Mm.
my world really. But obviously, God is in there,
Yeah. Very much.
very much
Very
so.
much so.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I'm sure we could probably talk a lot more because it is an incredible story, and thanks so much for sharing it. But and I'm sure over the weeks and months ahead, hopefully you'll recall things. Maybe so it'd be good to perhaps get you to be interviewed again. And but thanks so much, Margaret, for doing that. And I think it is really a resurrection story for all of us, and knowing that God's God's timing, isn't it, for everybody really, but God can bring us back from that point of where humanly we feel perhaps we're just going home, but God has other ideas anyway. So we'll leave that there. Thanks, Margaret, again for coming in, and